All right, today we're tackling something pretty ambitious, laying down the entire foundation for a career as a quantitative developer in just 10 days. Let's get right into it. So, right off the bat, you're probably thinking, 10 days? Really? And yeah, it's a bold claim, I totally get it, but here's how you should think about this. It's not some magic shortcut to becoming an expert overnight. Think of it more like an intense, focused sprint. It's a challenge, really, designed to give you all the core knowledge and the tools you need to just get started on this really exciting path. Now, before we even start the clock, let's make sure we're all on the same page about where we're headed. A quant developer, or quant, is basically the architect of modern trading. You're part mathematician, part computer scientist, and part financial strategist, all rolled into one awesome package. Your job is to find those tiny signals in all the noise of the market and then build the systems to actually act on them. So you ready for the challenge? Good. This is the blueprint we're going to follow. We've broken it down into a few distinct, totally manageable phases. And here it is, the whole journey at a glance. See? We start with that theoretical bedrock. Then we move into the practical, hands-on tools. After that, we'll apply everything in a project. And then finally, we'll wrap up by looking at what the day-to-day job actually looks like. So let's get going with that first phase. Okay. Days 1 through 3 are all about pouring a super solid foundation. You can't build a skyscraper on sand, right? This is the core stuff that every single quant relies on every single day. Day 1 is all about learning the language of quantitative finance, linear algebra, and calculus. These are absolutely essential for modeling complex financial instruments and really understanding how markets change. Then, on Day 2, it's about taming uncertainty with statistics and probability. This is how you find the patterns in all that market data. And on Day 3, you're going to tackle programming fundamentals, learning how to structure data and write efficient algorithms in Python or C++, which is the absolute heart of any trading system. So now that that foundation is set, it's time to assemble your toolkit. Days 4, 5, and 6 are all dedicated to mastering the essential software and technologies that you'll be using in the quant world. On Day 4, you'll dive into Python's powerhouse libraries for data analysis, NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. Day 5 is all about C++. This is the language you turn to when speed is absolutely everything, like in high-frequency trading. And finally, Day 6 is about getting your raw materials. You'll learn to use APIs, which are just ways to programmatically request and pull real-time market data. That data is the fuel for any trading strategy you'll ever build. You know, this comparison really gets at a fundamental trade-off in the quant world. Think of Python as your research lab. It's got this huge ecosystem of libraries that lets you prototype and test ideas incredibly fast. But when a strategy needs to be executed in microseconds, you've got to move it to the racetrack. And that's C++. It gives you that raw, close-to-the-metal speed you need for high-frequency, low-latency systems. Knowing when to use which is a truly crucial quant skill. Okay, you've got the theory and you've got the tools. Now for Days 7, 8, and 9, it's time to put it all together. Let's talk about the capstone project. This is so important because you need a tangible goal. Your mission for these 3 days is to build a backtester for a simple momentum strategy. What does that even mean? Well, in essence, you're going to write a program that simulates how a strategy, like buying assets that have recently gone up and selling those that have gone down, would have actually performed using historical data. And here's how you'll break it down. On Day 7, you'll use that new API knowledge to pull all the historical data you need. Then, on Day 8, you'll actually code the trading rules using Python and Pandas. And finally, on Day 9, you'll run the backtest and analyze the results. Did it make money? What were the risks? This right here, this is the core loop of all quantitative research. And just like that, we've reached the final day. Day 10 is all about zooming out and really understanding the actual role of a quant developer in the real world. This table here gives you the whole picture. On the left, you've got the typical responsibilities. It's not just coding. It's implementing models, backtesting, researching new signals, and on the right, you see the skills you need. Beyond just programming, you need deep analytical abilities, market knowledge, and, this one's huge, the ability to solve really complex problems under some pretty intense pressure. And there you have it. In 10 really intense days, you've gone from a blank slate to a solid starting point. Now, this sprint doesn't make you a senior quant, of course not, but what it does is it transforms this abstract idea of a career into a tangible foundation, a real launch pad for your future growth. So the 10-day challenge is done. You've got the knowledge, you've got the tools, and you have your first project under your belt. The path is laid out right in front of you. The only question left is the one you see on the screen. What will you build first?